Are you a parent with a child with an IEP or needs one? Then you've come to the right place. If you've been to an IEP meeting before, then you know that your child's general education teacher has to be there. There's going to be a ton of other people in the meeting too. But what do you ask and what's really important that you need to know? So in this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 behind-the-scenes questions that you need to ask your child's teacher so you can advocate like a pro. Hey, what's up? I'm April Rarig, your special education advocate to make IEPs and 504 plans so much easier. If you're new here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button below and make sure to follow us on Instagram at RiseEdAdvocacy. Here's what you need to know about teachers at IEPs. So when we talk about IEPs, also known as individual education plans, your child's teacher needs to be there. So before we talk about what types of questions you need to ask your teacher, we first need to back it up and talk about what is a general education teacher. A general education teacher is going to be your child's teacher in a regular classroom. That means they are not a special education teacher. Those are 2 different types of teachers. So in this video, I'm going to lay out the 3 questions that you want to ask your child's general education teacher. Pro tip. According to IDA law, a general education teacher needs to be at every single IEP. Yep, that's true. A general education teacher needs to be at an IEP no matter what types of supports and services your child needs or no matter what kind of IEP it is. Now that you know what is a general education teacher, I'm going to dive into the 3 questions that you want to ask them at every single IEP meeting. Make sure to stick around for this entire video because throughout the video, I'm going to be sharing with you tools and strategies so you can walk in the door and advocate like a pro. And here we go. 1. What tools and resources do you need to help my child in your class? Why do you want to ask the teacher this question? It identifies for the teacher what are the setups, also known as the underlying and the performance conditions that your child needs in order to make progress. Pro tip. Where do you want to see this on the IEP? You want to see this under the supplementary aids and services. What does this look like? Accommodations, modifications, instructional methodology. Here's the problem. The problem tends to be in IEPs is that teachers really struggle to know how much or how little to support children. So I have a resource called the Prompt Hierarchy, and it lays out for you and your child what degree of prompting and cueing is appropriate to help them be independent and to help them make sufficient progress and to help them meet their own personal, unique learning needs. Number 2, what does my child need to learn in order to make sufficient progress? Why do you want to ask your teacher this question? It identifies what is the team going to do differently. Where would you see this on the IEP? Under the goals and objectives. Here's the deal. Pro tip. It's all about knowing what to ask for and how to get it. And when it comes to special education and IEPs, there's actually a process. And here's the thing your school doesn't want you to know. The cycle repeats itself. So whether you're in your first IEP or your annual IEP, an amendment, or even a triennial, you need to know where you are in order to get where you need to go with your child. I have a free resource called the Special Education Cycle that shows you how the cycle works and shows you how to change your trajectory so you can advocate like a pro and get your child where they need to go. And here's the 3rd question that you want to ask your child's teacher. What kind of supports and services are you recommending so my child can achieve the goals that we're making? So why do you want to ask your teacher this question? It prompts the team to talk about where or the location of everything that they've recommended in the IEP so far. Where should you look for this on the IEP? On the offer of FAPE, also known as services or placement. What does this look like? It looks like frequency, intensity, location. What words do you want to look for? Direct, indirect services, consultation, collaboration, all the different methods in terms of the how-tos and the setups so that your child can achieve the goals they recommended and make the progress that you want them to. What about if your IEP meeting is coming up, or now that you've heard all this, you're like, oh, I want to ask for a meeting. What are the tools and the resources? Remember we talked about that earlier? I have a fillable guide called the IEP Meeting Request Template. And what's really helpful about the guide is it has you kind of direct the team in terms of asking for accommodations or modifications and basically puts you in the driver's seat. Here's the deal. Pro tip. You as the child's parent make the best advocate. You know your child better than anyone else, and you've certainly been on the IEP team longer than anyone else. So all you need is the tools and the resources. So make sure to get our fillable guide so that you can walk in your meeting and feel so much better. So now you know the 3 questions to ask your child's general education teacher. Make sure to like and subscribe for this video so you don't miss a beat. Do you have a question? Put that in the comments below. Want me to do another video? Put that there too. Make sure to check in the links below for all of our free and fillable guides so that you can walk into your child's next IEP meeting like a pro. I'm April Rarick, your special education advocate. I can't wait to see you for our next video.